You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe and check out the playlist.
I grew up hearing gunshots in the late night. Ghetto bird, police sirens as a mother cries. Just another victim of the Soundbrown genocide. Locals posted, locked and loaded, ready to take lives. And when they heard the chief late, they would duck up out of sight. Like your car when the sun down, it was mission time. You had to stay alert, cause bullets always travel blind. We stayed posted, we stayed drinking, and we getting high. Marchando down the enemy's neighborhood as we ride. Put the hood, put the glica sample, fuck their side. No regrets, but the truth is no peace of mind.
G-File.
Now, starting off right here, we're gonna start off with now Longo as a whole is the biggest neighborhood in Long Beach. It is the largest. You feel me? Longo, it is. Each Longo subset is their own gang, but they're all one gang. At the end of the day, you feel me? If that makes any sense. Like Longo is all one gang, but they're different cliques. But each clique is considered their own gang. It's kind of like how Verdugo does it and stuff like that. It kind of gets a little complex when we think about it, but that's pretty much how their neighborhood is structured. Long Beach. We're gonna start with the biggest one, which is the East Side Longo. It is the largest one out of the three cliques. The originators, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't until other homies started moving into West Side Longo and North Side of Long Beach that they started the North Side Longo and the West Side Longo. So they originated at the East Side Longo. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And East Side Longo is located right there in the MacArthur Park area. MacArthur Park, not meaning like West LA, I'm meaning right here, down here on Anaheim Street. You know what I mean? By Central Long Beach is their territory, by Daisy Street, like by Pacific Highway and 4th Street, all of that, you know what I mean? All that area is considered the East Side Longo's territory. They have a strong territory, like they have it on lockdown. And we're talking about a big chunk of territory, homie, because this neighborhood is roughly more than like 800 members, I was told. So that's already almost 1,000, homie, and we're just talking about the East Side Long Beach, homie. You know what I mean? We're not even considering this as a whole neighborhood. We're just talking about the East Side portion of it. So that should already get you guys an idea of how large this neighborhood is. They beef it with almost every gang in Long Beach, because Longo is the most hated neighborhood here, because they just rule with an iron fist, homie. They just with the business, you know what I mean? Heavily going at it with the Crips, homie. Them in the Crips, oh man, it's beef, homie. You know what I'm saying? This is what you call beef. And here's another fun fact. The East Side Longo is another neighborhood that uses red bandanas. They're red raggers. They sport the color red, obviously the opposition, for the Crips, you know what I mean? To aggravate them and stuff like that. And since Longo goes back to the 60s, it's an old school neighborhood since the 60s. That's the reason that that's their color and everything like that. It was even before like La M and all of that, before Sud and Norteños even existed and all that. That is the reason that's their color. It was before the whole color thing was even an issue. You feel me? But these guys are Sureños to the fullest. They with the business. East Side Longo, like I said, is the largest one out of the three. These guys are definitely with the business, homie, and hold it down. Still to this day, right there representing for theirs. All right, and now we have the second largest one out of the three Long Beach. We have the West Side Longueros neighborhood. Now, the West Side Longueros is obviously located on the west of Long Beach. Their barrio stretches from 20th Street all the way to Pacific Coast Highway between the 710 freeway and Santa Fe Avenue. They share, I guess, the turf you could say that they share with the Rolling 80s. Hence, like I said, the Longueros and the Crips, they just have a massive rivalry. But even though the West Side Longo is not as large as the East Side Longo, it is still a large neighborhood in its own, you know what I mean? Hence why they even have several cliques like the Cyclones, Termites, Stoners, Summit Canal, Locals, Tiny Locals, all of that. We're talking about all of that, you know what I mean? Because on Summit and Canal is where home base, homie. That's their main dojo where they have it on lockdown, homie. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, they had it on lockdown so much. Hey man, they got Long Beach PD departments, trying to like throw everything at these guys, trying to combat them. But it seems everything that they do, it doesn't seem to slow down this neighborhood. Like I said, the Longueros is a large neighborhood as a whole, and even though the East Side Longo is the largest one, they're all one neighborhood at the end. So they're they could just back up each other. Since they all do stay in Long Beach, it's not even a distance of a drive. But each individual neighborhood has its members. Because I was told that the West Side Longueros are about like 400 members. So it's a large neighborhood. It's a large clique in itself. You feel me? Like I said, they're all one neighborhood, but they're their own individual gangs. So East Side is the largest, but West Side also has its riders, its members that be holding it down and representing for theirs. You know what I mean? Shout out to the homie Sharp. You know what I mean? Philo out that West Side Longo. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the Longueros out there, homie, that be representing it and doing their thing, homie. Much love to you guys, because, you guys are with the business. And like I said, they be cracking out there, homie, but that's what's up with West Side Longo right there. And here we have the smallest one of the three, but it's still notorious, homie. The reason why that portion of Long Beach has a gang injunction, these guys are with the business. We have the North Side Longo. Shout out to the homie Blackie. I got you, my boy. The North Side Longo, it is the smallest out of the three, but don't ever get it twisted, homie. These guys are with the business, homie. North Side Longo is roughly about 300, less than 300 members, but like roughly around there. So they have the manpower too as well. Don't ever get it twisted. Even though it's the smallest one out of the Longos, almost 300 members is still a large portion of when we're talking about, a barrio, you know what I mean? Now, their barrio is located where Downey Avenue's at on Long Beach Boulevard between Del Amo Boulevard and Artesia Boulevard. That's, what's considered the Northside Longos territory, And like I said, yes, Longo is, one united neighborhood. They are Red Raggers, you know what I mean? But see, Northside Longo, they have a tough battle because where their neighborhood's at, that's already like where, where like you're surrounded by pure enemies, you know what I mean? Because you have a lot of crib sets that are right there. You have Compton barrios that are right there. You have Dominguez, Carson's. Man, like it's on and cracking, homie. Like I'm telling you, that's probably why the city, decided to throw the gang injection out there, because it's just popping out there, homie. You know what I mean? And, the Northside Longo, like I said, it may be the smallest one out of three, but these guys ain't no chump, ain't no pushovers. They handle their business, and they still have a gang of members as it is. Hence why they even have, a few cliques, like the Machos and the Pee-wees and the youngsters and the baby gangsters and the Sunrise and all kinds of cliques, you know what I mean? And, obviously also going at it with the Cribs too, just like their other counterpart sets, you know what I mean? They have their own crib sets to worry about, like Boulevard Mafia and Brick Boys and all kinds of, like I said, homie, it's just on and cracking. But like I said, the Longo, it is still, even though it's the smallest one out of the three Longos, it is the largest neighborhood when we're speaking about where North Side of Long Beach is the largest neighborhood in North Side of Long Beach, but the smallest one out of the three cliques. So that should already give you a hint of like, how dominant this neighborhood is. And Northside, it is the newest one out of the three. Obviously East Side Longo being the oldest, then it's West Side, then it's Northside. So Northside being the more newer of the three, but still rule with an iron fist, holding it down and putting it on the map right there for them. And here in Long Beach, you also have the Barrio 9th Street Locos. Now, Barrio 9th Street Locos is a more smaller neighborhood located right here on Long Beach. It's located on 9th and Washington is where you'll find the 9th Street neighborhood. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of like jam-packed full of neighborhoods right there, with the Longueros, the 18s, the St. Paul's, all them neighborhoods, but 9th Street still be right there representing, even though they're like one of the more smaller neighborhoods in the area. You still catch their activities, you still see them up, you know what I mean? They have their gente, their riders, you know what I mean? Even though they're not a large neighborhood, they still put it down, homie, like these guys ain't no chumps, they're no slouches. And this neighborhood has been around already right here in this area since the 90s. I was told this neighborhood has been established, so the mid 90s is when this neighborhood, has started. And even though the territory is, roughly small, the territory that they do have, they got it on lockdown, and they still be right there representing for theirs and holding it down. I also seen that they have a homie that spits some freestyles. You guys should check it out. Some homie kid from right here. Seems like he was spitting some pretty firme freestyles. You guys want to go check them out, and that's what's up with the 9th Street neighborhood right there. Now here we have probably the second largest neighborhood in the area, right here in Long Beach. The home turf, the birthplace of the Barrio Pobre neighborhood. Now, Barrio Pobre, it has already been right here for a long time, you know what I mean? Just as long as the Longueros have been here, roughly since the 60s, 70s when this neighborhood was established. You could find their neighborhood located on 10th and Daisy is where their neighborhood is at, all the way to 16th Street. They got a pretty chunk size of territory, and it probably is the second largest neighborhood in Long Beach. When it comes to Hispanics. Here's one thing I will say though, as a whole, like meaning as a whole neighborhood, the Barrio Pobre is one of the largest, bigger than like the Long Beach neighborhoods, because this neighborhood is located in Anaheim, in the IE, in Northern California, in different states. This neighborhood, you can find them in Compton, Linwood. You can find this neighborhood located in so many different cities. It's not even funny, homie. And when I mean a different city, I mean a large amount. I don't mean just like 5 other guys. No, I mean like by the dozens. You know what I mean? This neighborhood is just large. They spread like wildfire, and this is where they're coming from. Their birthplace right here, out of the Long Beach side, and where they hold it down ruthless with an iron fist. You know what I mean? Going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods. This barrio definitely with the business, homie. You already know. Shout out to Sneaky from Barrio Pobre. That's a firme. Man, I remember that's a cool homie right there. Shout out to all the homies from Barrio Pobre that be holding it down right there in Long Beach, that be doing their thing, representing for theirs and putting their barrio up on the map. But that's what's up with the Barrio Pobre right here, the Long Beach portion. Now, here's another barrio right here in Long Beach that you could also find located not just in Long Beach, but in different areas, because this neighborhood is also located in Anaheim, and they have a large, a neighborhood over there in Anaheim, you know what I mean? But right here we have the Barrio Small Town. Now, Barrio Small Town is located right here in Long Beach. Now, they're located by Pacific and 7th almost. 4th Street is their main domain, homie. Their home base, home turf for these guys. That's their dojo. That's where it be cracking, homie, They got a pretty decent-sized chunk of territory over here, you feel me, going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods, including Cribs, like that's what I'm saying. It seems like Cribs and Hispanic gangs over here in Long Beach definitely don't see eye to eye, you know what I mean? And I want to send, rest in peace to Sporty, from Barrio Small Town. That was a real homie. Shout out to Casper, Blaze, and shout out to all the homies from Barrio Small Town that be holding it down. But yeah, this neighborhood, it has already been right here established in the Long Beach area for quite some time. Since the 70s, I was told that this neighborhood has been here doing their thing. And like I said, they're not only right here in Long Beach, they are also located in Anaheim. You know what I mean? So overall, as a whole, this neighborhood is large. In each specific location, though, they're average size. They're not big, they're not small. They're a decent sized neighborhood. But in general, when we're talking about it as a whole, including like the Anaheim one, then yeah, it's a large neighborhood. Because I know that they do have like several cliques. Like 4th Street, like Bad Boys, like Tiny Winos, like they have like several cliques. You know what I mean? So they do have like several cliques out there, because of the size of the neighborhood. And they be holding it down. I mean, these guys definitely be representing right there. These guys ain't no slouches, holding it down right there for the BST, the Barrio Small Town, and representing still to this day.